This is a docuseries, so we might say, do you want to take a shot at saying that again?
.169 3/8 with a bunch broke. So I guess my passion for big deer started in 2015. I finally started actually leasing some properties and decided that if I was going to spend, you know, big money on a chunk of property to lease, I would just as soon shoot big deer. Started leasing and ended up shooting a 180 that year off my first property ever. So from there, I actually went a couple years without shooting one, and I think 2017 it was. I ended up shooting two more that were both gross boon, a 193 and a 168, and it just, you know, my passion just grew, and chasing these big mature deer was you know, what I wanted to do. I started leasing a few more properties, and I acquired the property that I shot this guy on. It was one of those properties to where the deer just did not live there, and I was second guessing my lease. I pulled all my cell cameras out of there thinking that you know, that there just wasn't nothing there, and I was actually hunting a 260-inch deer that was not 4 miles away from there. I moved my cell camera there and kind of left this woods alone. In October, I ended up, you know, kind of going down and rechecking cameras that I had left in the property there, and it was just loaded up with big deer, you know, including this one. You know, last year he was a mainframe 12. I had both his brows. You know, they were both really impressive. So I knew, you know, last year that I wanted to harvest, you know, this deer if I could, and it ended up that I, you know, never got him. I ended up shooting a different deer in there that was 164 inches. I mean, he was a really nice deer too, but this one here, you know, obviously he made it through. You know, this property, the deer are basically there from the middle of October to the middle of November. So it's kind of a short-lived. We don't get any velvet trail cam pictures of any bucks in this property, very few does. It's strictly a rut property. And when he finally showed up, I want to say it was, you know, October 15th, I knew that he was, you know, he was going to be the one I was after again. So the morning of the hunt, I mean, it was one of those deals. I had missed a buck, you know, about 3 or 4 days before I had shot this one. I guess it was kind of a blessing in disguise because, you know, he was a little bit smaller than this one, of course, but he just, the morning that this one here came in, he was about 200 yards across the field. I seen him, I threw the binoculars on him, I seen his right side, and I knew he was, I didn't know he was the exact one, but I just knew he was a mature deer. So I put the binoculars down and ended up coming directly to the base of the tree. I think he was about 5 yards from the base of the tree when I ended up shooting him. And he ended up running behind me a little bit, and I kind of videotaped him for a while, and then he took off running again. So I really didn't know what happened. I thought I maybe got a bad hit with the angle that I had on him, and he, not knowing, not knowing where it exactly hit. You know, everything's so fast and happens so fast at that short distance that, you know, I was second guessing myself the whole time after the shot. I had, you know, 3 different cameras going along with the camera on the camera arm, and you know, I just kept trying to get that camera on the camera arm to pick up some kind of light, and it just wouldn't do it. It's a cheap camera, and I just couldn't get it to pick up anything. So I just stuck with the other 3, basically, that I had running already, and went from there. Just kind of went with it. I went to the blood trail, and I videotaped about, you know, probably, I don't know, 40 seconds worth of video of the actual blood trail itself, and I sent it to Nate and kind of got his opinion on it and stuff like that. I went to my buddy's place. We kind of looked at the footage. It looked like a good hit, but like I said, at that angle, we really couldn't tell what actually was going on. So I was watching all these videos and stuff on, you know, when it's hit there, what to do, how long to wait, and everything else. And so I gave it a good, I don't know, probably 5 hours. I knew there was rain coming in, so I wanted to get on, you know, on the blood before it actually started raining. So I went to my house, I reviewed the footage again, and ended up driving back down there. And as I was driving down the driveway to the property I hunt, I just kind of looked over, and it wasn't 70 yards from where I had my truck parked. And there, I thought I seen a main beam, and I grabbed my binoculars, and there he laid. One of the first people I always call when I shoot a deer or any deer, you know, is my cousin. We've hunted together ever since we were, you know, old enough to hunt.
And there you have it.
Thanks, Mike Hackett.
We both shot bucks, you know, 2 days apart, so it was one of those deals. We got together and, you know, had a few beers, took a bunch of pictures of both the deer together, and it kind of went and celebrated for a while. I enjoy being out in the woods, and you know, if anybody don't enjoy it, I mean, it's very addicting. There's just nothing better.